series of logarithms. It says express as a single logarithm. When it says that, you should have in your answer that single log. Okay, so some of you may on the line have just put 5. When you're doing your quiz, you're going to have to make sure you have log base 3 of 243. Okay, and yeah, you do have to do something like that without a calculator. So you're going old school multiplication. And then if you simplify, okay, then you are asking yourself, okay, 3 to what power equals 243? So when you're going through that process, right, 3 to the 4th is 81. Okay, so if 3 to the 4th is 81, you're trying to find 3 to the 5th, you just multiply that by 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 8, 243. There you go. Okay. Number 2, you should have log base 2 of 128 equals 7. So anytime there's plus, you have to multiply those two. You get 128. Okay, and then you use your problem-solving skills to find out 2 to what power is 128, and you should get 7. Okay, when you're doing 80 times 125, if I were doing that, I would be multiplying 125 times 8, and then doing what? And then, yeah, and then you're putting the... Oh. Hi. Send Catherine. Yep. Okay. Thanks. Okay. And then when you multiply the 125 times 8, you get 40. 8 times 2 is 16. 20. Carry the 2. You get 10, and then you just add the 0. So it's 10,000. Remember the little trick we learned when we were doing our notes? If there's 4 zeros, okay, then it's going to be 10 to the 4th power. Okay, so, and then this, it says log base 10. You don't have to write it like that. It just should be log of, you can do log of 10,000 equals 4. Okay, log of 10,000 equals 4. Okay, all right, and then for 4, log base 6 of 216 equals 3. Log base 3 of 81 equals 4. And then log base 4 of 4,096 equals 6. Oh, that one was a decimal. I don't think I beat that one. Do you guys remember how to multiply by decimals? Yeah, what's the rule? No, you move it one place over, right? 30. So this would be 18 plus 3, 21. And then you just move the decimal back, so it'd be 81. Okay, that's kind of, yeah. Okay, and then 32 times 128 would be 4096. So then you ask yourself, 4 to what power would be 4096? That's a little extreme for you to do without your calculator. But yeah, you should get 6 for that. All right, now again, this is another one where it says express as a single logarithm. Simplify if possible. Okay. Right? So if you can do all this without your calculator, then the quiz should feel a little bit easier for you. All right. So for 7, you're dividing, okay, and then you're asking yourself 2 to what power equals 8, so you should get 3. Again, make sure that you have the single logarithm on there. Okay, and then so this, I don't want you to write log base 10. I just want you to write log of 100 equals 2. Okay, if you wrote log base 10, I wouldn't mark that wrong, but you just don't need it. Okay, and then log base 4 of 64 equals 3. So notice I'm boxing in the whole answer. So if you just have 3, you need to make sure when you're reading the directions, that single logarithm, that should say to you, oh, I need a logarithm in part of my answer. Okay? All right. Number 10 is log base 2 of 64 equals 6. 11 is log base 3 of 243 equals 5. And 12 is log base 6 of 36 equals 2. Okay, how did that section go? Great? Sweet. All right. Now this may have been your favorite section. Right? The simplifying. Okay, so if you have log base 4 and 4, that cancels out. Okay, all you have to write here is the 6. Okay, because it didn't say to write it as a single logarithm, so that's okay. On your quiz though, if it says to write it as a single logarithm, you would have to write it like this. Okay, so if directions say, if it says to write it as a single logarithm, which again, these didn't, so if you wrote that, that's fine. But if they say to write it as a single logarithm for ones like this, you have to write it out, okay? And then it equals. Okay, for those, they just said simplify, so those will cancel. You'll get 30. 12 and log base 12 cancel, so you're left with 1. These cancel to get 5. And then in order for this to cancel, you have to rewrite it. So 9 is 3 squared. Remember, when you have a power to a power, what do you do with those exponents? Multiply. So that's why you should get 8. Okay, so if you got 2, it just means you forgot to multiply those. All right, questions for me on that section for 4.4? Feeling good about that one? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay. All right, and then this one you were evaluating. So one thing that you will have to know for your quiz is the change of base formula. Okay, yes, you have to have that memorized. So do you guys remember what I told you, how you can remember which one goes where? If you have log base b of x? Yeah, great. Okay, so the log of x divided by the log of b, base is on the bottom. Okay, so this should be the log of 1 divided by the log of 12. You get 0. Okay, the log of 30 divided by the log of 3. You could also have on your no calculator section, maybe I would just ask you to write this out and not calculate it. So you'd have to be able to show me what this is and then not calculate it. Yeah, Connor?
For 19, since I forgot what it's called, but since it's 1, could you just put 0? Like, did you already know that it's 0?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good. This is, yeah, because that's one of your special properties, right? Oh, yeah, because 12 to the x equals 1, so you know that. For these, though, you are going to have to compute them. Yes, great. Good. Other questions for me on those? All right, and then I didn't make you do number bum, bum, bum. Ah. You could solve it. It's just, it's a lot of scientific notation, okay? I know, why? That one won't be on your quiz, though. Okay? And then, yep, I'm going to have you check your 4.5, and then I'm going to let you guys ask me what questions you want to go over from 4.5, and then I'm also going to show you the beginning of 4.5 practice, okay? All right, so check your answers here. This is page 3, 1 through 6 is on page, your last page, the 1 through 6, and then 7 through 18 is on your second.